Mandalore. Lady
Mandalore.
Mandalore.
Yes.
Chris Fury.
Chris Fury, Lady Mandalore.
Yes.
I go by Tatiana Loves Sexy.
I like it. It's got a lovely ring to it. Hello, everybody. This is Lady Mandalore and Chris Fury reporting live from BlerDCon, sponsored by Blerd Station. And we have the lovely, illustrious Mr. Ahmed Best here with us. He has blessed us with his presence. I am so happy that you are here, sir.
I'm happy to be here, Lady Mandalore. Thank you for
sir.
having me.
I'm going to start off with this because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I know that you enlightened everybody with George Lucas's premise about the Force.
Yes.
My question to you is, do you think also that the Force, the extreme spectrums of this Force, the dark and the light side, are more influenced by the people in the middle? Like, let's say you have somebody that's on the light side and somebody that's on the dark side. They're both born, and they're right on the end of the spectrum. I feel that maybe a lot of the people in the middle actually influence which way they go throughout life.
This is the infamous Greys.
I love a gray Jedi.
The Gray Jedi theory. So I can't really speak on the Greys
Okay.
because it's not official yet. Or will it ever be? I'm not quite sure if it will ever be official that the Greys are actually a thing. Okay. There are a lot of people on the inside who are trying to get rid of this whole Greys thing because they don't like it, and I'm not naming no names.
Okay.
But, here's the thing, from my point of view. Whether they be gray or not, I do not think the middle is in between dark and light.
Okay.
The dark side of the Force is kind of misnamed, right? The people on the dark side are dark side people who are Force users, right? The strongest part of the Force has always been the light, right? So when you're in the middle, you're on the light side being tempted, right? And it's whether or not you are led into temptation that pulls you to the dark. Everyone who uses the Force is tempted by the dark side. Every single person, right? Do they give in to it? Do they give in to hate? Do they give in to corruption? Do they give in to taking the easy way out? Right? That's what pulls you towards the dark side, right? So there's always a middle, but the middle is not, from my point of view and from talking to George, like the middle is not between light and dark. The middle is light, and there is temptation from the dark to take your Force, and bring to the dark side, right? So George's idea of the Force is this unseen love, right? Some people call it God, some people call it the universe, some people have a name for it. George calls it the Force, right? And so the Force is really about togetherness. It's about unity. It's about practice. It's about the things that we do that on the journey may seem challenging, but it's a decision that we make not to take the easy way out, right? So when you do take the easy way out, that's when the dark side tempts you and pulls you over. Right, okay. So gray, maybe. It's up to them. Okay. I'll let them fight it out.
The gods that be.
Yeah.
Daddy George and Stepdaddy Filoni.
I'm not saying any names.
No. That's totally fine. I said nothing.
We always say let Filoni cook.
Yes.
So, you were originally one of the voice actors for Jar Jar Binks, and you spoke about the time, your very dark time of cyberbullying that yourself had taken on, but now you've come to become Kelleran Beck, and for us, we deemed it as the redemption, the redemption for yourself, the redemption for your character, saving Grogu and being that one piece. How do you correlate? Did you correlate that character with what you did with your personal life?
No, I never did. I mean, I never felt like I needed a redemption because I was very proud of what I did as Jar Jar. I mean, everyone who had a problem with Jar Jar, that was not me, and that took a long time for me to learn. Like, honestly, I thought for me, the pain wasn't from people's criticism. The pain was, I felt like I let George down. Like I felt like I didn't do a good enough job to stop this from happening. So it wasn't really about whether or not I liked what people were saying about me. It was like, for me, it was about the work, and it's always been about the work. And I was like, was it a mistake? Like, should he have hired Michael Jackson? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe Michael was a better fit than me, and I was a mistake for this. So I never wanted to let him down, and that's where I started spiraling. Was just like, did I do a good enough job? Like, was hiring, I'm a skinny kid from the South Bronx. I didn't come from, everybody in that movie had more experience than me, even little Jake, So gambling on me was a huge gamble, There's nobody else really as a black person, as a main character. Hugh Quarshie was in the movie as well. He played Captain Panaka,
Right.
But he's British. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was black American. I was the only other black American aside from, like, as a main character. Right. Sam Jackson was also there as well as Mace Windu, but he was Sam Jackson, right? I'm nobody. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was just like, maybe you should have hired Eddie Murphy or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who had more shielding, who could have shielded the movie from this type of critique. So for me, it was more about that. Like, did I not do a good job? But as a performer, as somebody who did the part as an actor and as an artist, Kelleran Beck wasn't a redemption. It was, for me, Kelleran was just another way for me to be creative. I created Kelleran Beck out of nothing. They asked me to do Jedi Temple Challenge, which was the kids' game show. And they were like, you can make up the Jedi that you want to be. And I was like, let's go, let me cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been dreaming of being a Jedi since 1977. Like, I'm in, right? And I'm a writer, I'm a director, as well as an actor. So coming up with a character, that's what I do every single day. So I did all the backstory. I did all the homework that you do as an actor to come up with the character, and I made Kelleran Beck extremely deep. So the thing that you see on screen has layers and layers underneath it, which is why he works the way he works, right? Because I have a reason for it. And I learned that from George. Like, every character George ever came up with has an entire history that you don't ever see. Right? You might see like one, like Kid Fisto. You might see Kid Fisto for like that long, but he has an entire background. He can breathe underwater. He's like, his journey to being a Jedi. There's all of this wealth of information underneath it. So that's what I did with Kelleran. And so when Mandalorian came around, it just made sense, because I did all the work that would make this character the character that not only would save Grogu, but you would want to know more about.
Yes. That leads to the next question. Will we be seeing Kelleran Beck in the future?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I would love to really explore where Kelleran and Grogu go. It's 30 years until he meets the Mandalorian, right? So what was he doing all of those 30 years? Who trained him and how was he trained, So I would love to explore all of those things. And, of course I have it. I know where it happens. I know where it goes. But it's up to, the powers that be to want to tell that story. But I'll tell you, as fans of Star Wars, the fans have a huge influence on what gets done. You may think that you don't, but you really do. Everybody listens to the fans. Everybody listens to the fans. So the more Kelleran Beck noise you make, the closer I'll be able to tell those stories. there has to be a demand for it. There really does.
Well, when you speak about people of color and black people being in these spaces, that's what BlerDCon is all about, and putting those places of speculative fiction, sci-fi, manga, animation, and everything else. And so seeing those characters like that being shown and highlighted where we see ourselves represented
Yeah.
is a place that's necessary. So we appreciate you. We'd love to have you over. We'd love to have you over at BlerDCon. So, but thank you. This is Chris Fury. This is Lady Mandalore. We're here with Ahmed Best. BlerDCon, live from BlerDCon 2024. We will see you soon.
Lady from Geek by Hearts.
Lady Mandalore, also known as Room Full of Blerds.
Chris Fury.
We'll be watching Mayhem Media.
And you are watching
BlerDCon.